RBI Grade B 2024 DEPR exam Phase 1 is going to be held on 14th September 2024. This leaves you with 15 days for your preparation for Phase 1, and it is very critical for your final selection. Hello everyone, welcome to iExam B. Prepare 50% faster by embracing the iExam B learning experience. The Phase 1 exam for DEPR is very important. If we try to first understand the exam pattern, the exam happens in two phases in the written format, followed by the interview, and your Phase 1 consists of two papers. Paper 1, which is objective in nature on your economics subject. It will consist of 65 questions. Each of these questions will have 4 options, and you have to mark the correct option for each question. This will consist of 30 questions which are of 1 mark and 35 questions which are of 2 marks each, giving you a total of 100 marks. This will be a 2 hours paper. It will be carrying negative marking also. There will be a 1/3 negative marking for an incorrect 1 marker question, and half a marks will be deducted for an incorrect question if it is of a 2 marks. Of course, if you do not attempt, then it will not lead to any negative marking. Your second paper will be descriptive in nature on English, and it will consist of 4 questions which include an essay, a précis, and reading comprehension, and a letter. It will also be of 100 marks. That means there are equal weightage for your paper 1 and paper 2, and this will also be of 2 hours. These papers will be held in 2 shifts on the same day itself. So once you are aware, now let's look at the syllabus for the paper 1, which is your economics paper. So paper 1 syllabus, as given in the notification, has 8 aspects: microeconomics, macroeconomics, international economics, theories of economics and development, growth and development, public finance, environmental economics, quantitative methods in economics, and current developments in Indian economy. If I talk about how the trend has been in the past few years, even before the syllabus was given or not given, the trend has been that there are a good amount of questions asked from the first topic itself, which is microeconomics, because it is a detailed topic talking about production, demand and supply, market structures, right? So it is a detailed topic overall in itself, although it may look like a 1 point only, right? So easily around 25 to 30% of your questions can come from microeconomics alone itself. Out of the remaining topics, if we club macroeconomics, international economics, theories of growth and development, then these 3 together make up for the other bulk of another 30% of questions that can come from these topics. Public finance and environmental economics, relatively smaller topics, and questions you can expect 2 to 3 questions, not percentage wise, 2 to 3 questions you can expect from these topics that come in. The other major bulk of questions come from your quantitative methods in economics, which will include both your stats and your econometrics. And here again, you can say around 30% of the questions can come. And then your current developments, 4-5 questions can come from this aspect, which mostly you can expect from economic survey, budget, some of the important RBI reports like its annual report of RBI, FSR report, and some of the latest bulletins and the monetary policy. So these are the most critical ones that you can focus on for your current developments happening in the Indian economy. Now, these are the topic wise. If I talk about the type of questions, yes, conceptual questions and also numerical questions, right? So if I give a breakup of how the questions are asked, yes, conceptual questions. Factual questions are most likely to be from this aspect, conceptual questions from all the other aspects, and numerical. So if I give a breakup of these aspects, you can say very easily anywhere between 30 to 35% questions can be from numericals alone, right? And the other major 60% can come from conceptual, and another 10% approximately is what you can expect from the factual aspect. So this is a broad breakup of how we have seen in the past also. If you've still not seen the past year papers, I will highly recommend you to now go through them. The PYP, which is the past year papers, are available to be downloaded from the description box of this video also. Coming back to numericals importance, because they are important because they are very scoring also. If you get them right, you can very easily score them, and it's not always that numericals are going to be difficult. Last year we had around 32% of the questions come from numericals, which were numerical in nature. And if I go to 2022, actually 40% of the questions were numerical in nature, right? The level, we will also see how they are done. In fact, tomorrow Sahil sir is doing a special class for these last 15 days, how you should prepare, what is the sequence of attempt of your questions out of these 65 questions, how to choose, how to move quickly forward so that you are able to take advantage of the questions that you know and the ones that you don't know, and the important numericals that you should be focusing on. He will also practice certain types of numericals that will be critical for your phase 1. What are the other do's and don'ts in these last 15 days for your final strategy to for cracking phase 1 of DEPR exam. This is a part of our DEPR comprehensive course, which includes video lessons, study notes, a lot of practice mock tests, including both conceptual, factual, and numerical questions, objective for your economics objective paper, descriptive questions for your descriptive papers, descriptive English tests also are there that you can practice as the exact exam environment. Right, so you can have a look if you are interested. Moving to why phase 1 is critical, that I am saying. I stated in the beginning of the video that phase 1 is going to be very, very critical. Of course, the first and foremost reason is that it is a ladder to phase 2. Only when you clear phase 1 will you move to phase 2. So you need to have a minimum aggregate cutoff marks based on which you will be shortlisted for phase 2, and this cutoff is decided by the RBI based on the vacancies and based on the performance of the candidates, right? So if I look at the last year cutoff, the last year, this is 2023 cutoff, and I'm discussing more 2023 because this is the year in which this exam pattern was introduced. Before this, the phase 1 consisted of only economics paper and not descriptive English. Plus, that time, no specific syllabus was also mentioned. But now we have a specific syllabus also, and we have 2 papers that happen in phase 1. So in 2023, the cutoff out of 200, right? Why 200? 100 of economics plus 100 of descriptive English, right? So these 2 papers, the total cutoff for the general or the unreserved category was 112, which is 56%, which is a high cutoff as compared to previous 2 years. In 21 and 22, it was only 47.8, and in 22, it was even lower at 41%, right? So a very good generous cutoff was there in 2023. This was majorly because the questions were testing more of your basic knowledge, basic concepts, and the numericals were also basic application and doable. So a 56% per cutoff had gone, including both for your paper 1 and paper 2. The second reason, and a very most important reason why phase 1 is very critical for you, is because the marks of phase 1 get added to your final selection, right? This is the notification that states that your final selection will be based on your performance in your written exam of phase 1, of phase 2, and the interview taken together, right? Let's understand this is in numbers. So this is again 2023 cutoff data, right? For phase 1, as I already stated, it was 112. For after phase 2, not for phase 2, after phase 2, your cutoff out of 400, why? Because 200 of phase 1 and 200 of phase 2, because in phase 2 also there are 2 papers which are of 100 marks each, right? So after that, the cutoff was 254.17. So in case you were a candidate who got just 112 and made it to the phase 1, you would have needed 142.17 out of 200 in your phase 2 to be able to clear the phase 2 cutoff also, which is a very high percentage for a descriptive paper, right? So your descriptive paper, here also it can be scoring. Numericals do come, so numericals can be there. There is one separate paper for quantitative methods which will include your stats and equatorics. There also you can score very well, and you will have a possibility of even scoring 100% if you show all the steps and your answers are correct and you approach it correctly, right? But still, being descriptive in nature, aiming for such a high score can get difficult and intimidating, right? So it is very important that you try to pull up your score in your phase 1. Both paper 1 and paper 2 can be helpful. Even paper 2 can be very scoring, descriptive English, if you pay attention and you take care of the important points of your grammar and structuring of your answer. If you need more guidance on that, we have a separate video on descriptive English practice available on our YouTube channel. You can watch that. You can also download the important essay topics PDF from the description box. Let's move to the final selection. The final selection is based out of 475 marks, which includes 200 marks these of phase 1, this added of phase 2, and then 75 marks of your interview. So again, if you had just met the cutoff for phase 2 of 254.17 and for meeting the final score cutoff, you would have needed almost 68 out of 75. Again, a very high performance needed in interview, which can be dependent on that particular day's performance of yours when the interview is taking place. So it is very important that at each level you try to maximize, and your first step is your phase 1. So please take this very, very seriously. Attempt well, attempt judiciously, choose your questions well, and try to maximize your score. So wishing you all the best. We have been guiding for DEPR exam from the last 3 years with a good performance, and we will continue to guide students in the right direction for their DEPR performance even in this year. So that's all from my side. If you've not still subscribed to the channel or press the bell icon, please do so that you can be updated of any other new information and updates related to your exam. You can always reach out to us at hello@iexamb.com or call us at 920-552-4028. All the best.